Hello, everybody. This is Waldorf,
This is Statler.
and today we're just going to be talking briefly about, supporting your community, growing your local community,
Yeah, how we can grow the ninth age in our own little way.
and how we can support the ninth age.
Yes.
So this came about. This whole topic came about really because another guy on the forum, a extraordinary legionnaire, kind of reached out to me and he says, "Hey, we're up here in Baltimore and we're trying to get a group together and trying to get some of our guys more, tournament ready, tournament willing players," and kind of reached out for some ideas on how to do that. And from there, we decided to start, kind of doing these game days to kind of involve
Joint game days between interclub.
interclub. Because we have our own stuff down where we are. We do our Wednesday nights, and occasionally we'll do our Saturdays. And we'll have a one-day tournament every once in a while.
Right.
But this is getting our club together with theirs, so you get to see different players. If you're trying to build a tournament scene, of course, it gets your players exposure to different players in different areas.
Because the most difficult thing for getting into tournament is getting over that trepidation of playing people you've never met before.
Correct. Yeah, that's one of the biggest drawbacks I've heard. It's like, yeah, I play here because I've played these, I know these guys, everything else. It's not that big of a deal. But I don't want to go there because I'm playing some guy. What if he's not a nice guy?
Yeah, and the other challenge you can have if you go into tournaments is if you have a relatively small group, and 10 or less people, maybe slightly 12 or less people, you get to the point where you've played the same people and you start playing them and not against them and not against their army.
Correct. You're playing the player.
You're playing the player, and then you go to a tournament and all of a sudden it's completely different for you. So
Correct.
the more that you can play, other people and I'll say a non-competitive fashion where things are maybe not quite as can get intense for people, or people don't become so self-conscious. You might be willing to try different things, which you never get a chance to do in a true tournament setting. And these types of events kind of help you with that.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, we're trying to pull together just the, our group, the CGL guys, those guys up at Titan, and some of those guys have been supporting our tournaments. They came down to a doubles tournament we had last weekend. A few of them came down to the Mountain Mayhem tournament we ran in October. So they've already been involved with our guy. A few of them have already been involved with, our group. And then, of course, not too far away are the Green Dragons over in Philadelphia.
Right.
It's probably about a 2-hour trek for them to get to this thing. But there's a bunch of guys there that, again, they've come down. A couple of them have come down to tournaments we've run. A few of them, at least 2 of them, I think 4. Anyway, a few of them were down for the Mountain Mayhem tournament.
Right.
They've gone down to the Southern Assault tournaments and the ones down in North Carolina. But this is trying to get our little local area within an hour and a half of us, kind of tighter and growing and becoming a little bit more of a player in the area.
Yeah, and I think it's important, particularly for a community supported game like Ninth Age, where you don't have stores pushing it because they're not selling product tied to it. It's important for to keep these things going for small groups to not only build it with themselves, but to get together with other groups just to keep things fresh. So because you'll hear people say, "Oh, I'm getting a little dull, I'm getting burnt out," or whatever. And
you're playing the same guys every other week.
Exactly, and same game, same guys. After a while, that can get a little old for some people. So. Yeah, it just adds a little more pizzazz, and the more you do that, and frankly, if you're doing these, especially if you're doing these things in stores, the stores start seeing, oh, it's not just 4 guys playing once in a while.
Holy crap!
They don't buy anything.
There's 15 guys.
There's a whole bunch.
playing.
Maybe I can do something and make some money here. So so I think it's back to that synergies with the stores. If they start seeing numbers, then things start changing. And I think this is one of these things that you can do, and this is a great initiative I think that you're doing to help grow the game.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, but this is one of our little plots to keep things moving along. The other thing, we've talked about during one of our battle reports, we talked about is we're going to start running more of those little war bands games we do to try to bring in attract new players and bring those into the games.
So they can come in with only, a handful of figures and and play the game, or try some different armies before they get into investing.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, there, we don't have stores to support our hobby. This is, if you're watching this, this is your game.
Correct.
I mean, if why would you be watching this otherwise? But this is your game, and there's not a store pushing this. There's not selling anything. Stores don't care if this, for the most part, don't really care if this comes or goes because it's not earning them money.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they're selling some models to support, from other lines to help support this, and terrain maybe. Well, from some things, maybe not. The way I see some people play, maybe not so much.
Maybe if they're a felt store,
maybe if you're a felt store.
They sell a lot of terrain.
But I mean, so they're not there to push this game and get it involved. We have to do that.
Yes.
If this game's gonna survive, we have to push it.
And that's really the difference between this game and a lot of other things you see. There's
Right.
no manufacturer behind it with marketing money, and there's no
Right.
sales campaign or ad campaign, or there's no incentive for stores. There's no salesperson convincing them that this is the new hotness. So really, it's kind of, if we're interested in keeping the game alive, whether there may be things we like, there may be things we dislike, but we play this game because at the end we want to play it.
Yeah.
It's community supported. We kind of have to go that extra mile.
Yep. But we have to drive this.
Yes.
This is what it comes down to. But anyway, so this is it. I mean, you can see here I'm kind of advertising at the same time this one coming up in December 17th up in Baltimore. If you're anywhere near there, come out, join us, say hi. Even if you can't play and you're in the area, just stop by and say hi.
Exactly.
Again, we
and
kind of
support,
showing the flag
and support the store, and they'll see the people come in just to maybe buy something.
Exactly. Yeah. Support, and that's the big thing, like you said. Support the store.
Yep.
Keep the stores going because we need the stores. If you're playing in your basement, nothing's ever going to happen except your group's going to get smaller.
Yep.
So, anyway, all right. That was real quick. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.